the left wing is so good at hitting artists because they hit that compassion thing so much. I don't know. I really don't know. You know, I was just I had to interview Jesse Eisenberg, who was on the Social Network Academy Award nominee, and he's in a lot of movies, in the new Superman movie, and I was doing a cover story on him. And what fascinated me was I was supposed to be talking to him about his movie, and all he wanted to talk to me about was libertarianism. That's all he cared about. He'd heard me say little things here and there, and all he wanted to do, I mean, he would have loved to have talked to any one of you here, the idea that maybe you can do good things without force was an entirely new idea, you know? And I told him about something that really broke my heart. In the 80s, we were off Broadway, and we would find out when there were kind of critical mass of people who were deaf or hard of hearing that wanted to come to our show. And we kind of would informally, with our producers, keep kind of a list of those people who'd called in and said, "Are you signing?" and stuff. And then we would find a time, and we would either add a show in or replace a show and get like 100 people that wanted to come to our show and had some sort of hearing difficulties, and we would do a show for them. But we would really do the show. And we would bring the signer up on stage, and I had like 4 or 5 minutes of shtickala that I could do with them, talking really fast, so they were signing really fast. I'd do a little bit of signing myself, and I would sign with them. We had these special jokes in there, and it was some of the nicest, grooviest nights of shows we did. I mean, it was really, there was an improvisational feel, there was a kind of love in the room. It was just great, and we did it. It cost us more money than doing a regular show, but just chump change, you know? And so some wouldn't even pay for their tickets. We would just do that, and Teller and I and the producers did that, and it was just really terrific. And then laws got passed, and all of a sudden, by the time we hit Broadway, there were all these laws that said that if someone wanted to see our show, we had to have a signer there that night that they'd asked, and we couldn't legally ask them to come another night. It was their right to see our show signed that way. So it broke down all the joy. And I don't mean, please don't misunderstand me. There's no begrudging of this, but their experience was worse because now they're ghettoized. They're over to one side. The signer is not on the stage and well lit, but over in the corner and signing over here. And then the other people in the audience, I can't really address the one person. It's to explain it, they can't really be seen. They're over there. And all of a sudden, this wonderful thing, which was people just loving people and helping each other, turned into this. Now I got a gun to my head, and I gotta do this. And it's so hard to tell this, but please trust me. I'm not saying I don't want them to see my show. I want them to see my show desperately, and I want them to see it just the best way they possibly can. I want them to have a better show than anyone else has ever seen before, because that's what I always want of every show I do. And it just really summed up to me one of the problems with government charity and force is that you take the most beautiful thing that people can do for each other, charity, love, sharing, concern, compassion, and you flush all that down the toilet and stick a gun to someone's head and say, do this. And it's always portrayed as we're making people do this who don't want to do this. And the thing that's never said is you're also making people do this that want to do this and taking the joy away. So that's what I was trying to explain. That was my way of explaining libertarianism to a really, really smart, compassionate, fabulous actor that I talked to last night.